So when making your business social media profiles, there's a few key things that you need to make sure that they have and keep in mind as you do them. You want to make sure you have your logo sized to the correct image size that you'll need. So whether that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, they all have different sizes. I'll put those below in the description so you know exactly which one to do. Use the same logo. So either have your creative designer or your graphic designer create different sizes for you and send you the JPEGs for them, or use the original documents depending on what it was made in, and save a JPEG for those exact sizes. So that way when you make the account, you're not having to like resize or distort them. You really want to make sure that your image is clear and a high resolution, just like you would on your website. So let's go for Instagram. So let's say you're creating your account. You want your user handle to be the same as your company name or your website URL, whichever one you can do. Sometimes they're a little long, so if you shorten it to something shorter, just make sure that it makes sense with your brand and it makes sense with your company name. Again, like when you do a website URL for your social media handles, you want to make sure everything flows with your name, flows with your website design, just really captures who you are as a company. So creating your profile, you'll have your image as your logo. You'll put your URL in the back end of the bio page. Your name that appears can obviously be your full business name as long as it fits. And then as for a bio, I suggest doing your mission statement. You don't have to, but I just feel like your mission statement expresses who you are, what you want, what you're about. So putting that on your bio just fills the space up and says who you are. You want to make sure that when you're doing your highlights, if you're on Instagram and you're doing like your highlights, make sure that they either flow with your page or flow with your website. So what I mean is to flow by your website. If you do like a cover for all of your highlights, make sure it's the same color, same pattern. Make sure it just all flows together, but that it matches your website or matches your logo. So you're going to want to use the same colors. You're going to want to use the same fonts. You're going to want to use the same image if you have to. If you aren't using a cover for your highlights, then I would try to use a still frame that is aesthetically pleasing to the eye and will still go with everything. As for your feed on your page, so like when you click on your company page and you get the overview of like all of your posts, you can either post whatever and not try to plan it out so that way when you're on your page it all makes sense, where there's like 3 in a row. Or a lot of people will try to use like the same filter on every image, or will set up a way to do a quote so they post like 3 of them together. Some pages will even set it up to where it's like quote, image of you, action image. I don't believe that there's any right or wrong way to that. For the full-time job I work for, we don't go by that. We post what we post for our followers to engage. We don't worry about our overall, we'll call it the overview of our profile page. Like, we don't worry about that. That's not what our followers are there to see. Our followers are there to get the information, to know what they have to do. So let's talk also about like your Facebook page. If you're making your business Facebook page, you're going to want to use the same URL. You're going to want to use the same profile picture as your logo. Now on a Facebook business page and on a Twitter page, you will have a header image or a cover photo image. that can be something that you're highlighting. So my full-time job, we're highlighting one of our journals, right? It's brand new. We're trying to get it out. We're trying to get it published. So we have that ad from the marketing department. We made it size fit to cover photos, and that's what we have up. It draws a lot of engagement. Something that you're excited about is what you're going to really want your cover photo or your Twitter header to be. It just makes sense. It's the second thing that they see. On Twitter and Facebook, make sure you have your URL there in your profile, so that way they can see it right there. On Facebook, you can add your email, you can add your location, your business phone number, any of those. I would say do it, because you can see in your analytic reports who's clicking on it, why they're clicking on it. You can do the same thing for Instagram. You can add a phone number, you can add a website link, or you can add an address link. So on the back end of your analytics, you'll see 6 people clicked on call, 4 people clicked on get directions. You can see all of that in your analytic report, and it doesn't hurt to give that much information, so they can get a hold of you in any way possible. Also in Facebook business pages, you'll want to add your services so people know what you're offering. You don't have to put the price with them. I would just put a link to your prices page or your product page, whichever one you have. But make sure that somewhere on there, they know what you're offering. Also in the bio, put your mission statement, like I said about doing on Instagram. It lets just people know who you are, what you're about, and what you're going for. And then you'll save and be done, and you can share it across everything. Make sure you also add a link to your social media pages onto your website. And if you do email marketing, or if you do a blog or a newsletter, add all of those links in on MailChimp and on Constant Contact. That's where you get the little circles at. Put those in the bottom, go into your settings, add all of your usernames so they're automatically on every single one that you send out, and your followers can click on them and then follow you on all of your social media pages.